Okay, hopefully it's better. Maybe. Okay. We'll give it a few minutes just in case there's people trying to get in yet. Probably not going to have anybody else coming in, but we'll see. Last live, if it's done, we had 215 views. So that's good. Okay, we are going to go ahead, I think, and get started. So today we are discussing not one, but two subspecies or species of spotted skunk. Now, these are different, not just in the way they look, but also in the way that they're built. But we'll get to there. We'll get to that. So, we are looking at the western spotted skunk and the eastern spotted skunk. The western spotted skunk and the eastern spotted skunk are both smaller than the striped skunk. And not only that, but in some states they actually share the range with. So they have a white patch instead of a white stripe. They have a white patch between the eyes. And just like the striped skunk, they too can spray that oily compound from their anal glands. And just like the striped skunk, these skunks do not hibernate, but they do enter torpor during the winter. Like the striped skunk, these guys are also omnivores, and they feed on carrion, berries, fruits, birds, bird eggs, reptiles, amphibians, and small mammals. And of course, they do have predators, things like great horned owls, bobcats, dogs, cats, and probably other carnivorous mammals. Now, these guys are nocturnal. They also have a tendency to eat more plants during the fall. Now, in Montana and presumably other states, you will find a mix of western spotted, eastern spotted, and striped skunks. So in some states, that may also be a real thing. Also, like the eastern spotted skunk, the western spotted skunk climbs trees. Now, the eastern spotted skunk feeds on beetles, grubs, bees, honey, mice, moles, rats, chickmunks, bird eggs. Oops. And carrion. I'm assuming that the western skunk also feeds on some of these other animals. Now, spotted skunks are not big animals. They're not going to be reaching 14 pounds. They actually weigh only around 1 to 4 pounds. These animals only live for about 3 years. Unlike the striped skunk, these skunks may actually do handstands before they spray. They will also stomp their feet to give warnings before they spray. And that is what I have. It's a short one today. I don't know if we'll get anybody else. But since it is Tuesday, let me see if I can get our favorite thing up. I don't know if I can. No, not that I've been able to see. Let me confirm that, but I'm pretty sure they can climb fences and boards, but they're not really good climbers. Their claws are meant for digging, not climbing. Looking for my So we have, in the last 28 days, we have gained 120 subscribers. That is 43 more than usual, which is awesome. We had 19,000 returning viewers. And we had 19.5 unique visitors. Um, I saw that it's it was thought to be a subspecies of the eastern skunk, the eastern spotted, but it is now its own separate species. So let's see, we can maybe talk about it a little bit. These guys also are going to do their headstand. Their mating season for these guys is typically March through May. Kits will be born late May through June. But you do get babies being born as early as late August. A mom is going to have anywhere from 2 to 9 young, but the average is 4 to 6. These guys are going to mature within 9 to 10 months after birth. And these guys do not live beyond 5 years. No, they're their own species. Their own species. So these guys do not live beyond 5 years in the wild. Their habitat, going to be a lot of different habitats here. They're going to be living in prairies, open pasture land, wooded pastures, grasslands, subbrush, mesquite brushland, forest edges, woodlands, orchards, riparian forest, so forest where along rivers, rocky uplands. They can be found in caves, on farms, in suburban neighborhoods, even in cities. These guys are going to be feeding on insects, mice, and rats, as well as insects and plant matter. They are going to be found in Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Texas, and Wyoming. And probably more areas that they're been kicked out of range or whatever. We have had, in the last 28 days, we had 53.6 thousand views, 342 watch time hours, and like I said previously, 120 subscribers in the last 43 days. We currently have 1,567 subscribers. So that's cool. Top content for these 28 days is going to be, of course, Whale Tales, Exploring Nature Striped Skunk, Bushmaster, Two Groups of Whales, Giant Squid, Puffins as a Group, History of Food Squid, Squid on the Outside, Labrador Duck, Basking Shark Toy Review. Anyway, that is where we are at. I don't know what happens to my coming up later this week. On Friday, we will be looking at the Red Sea and the Dead Sea in habitat focus. And then we have two Learn the Cares on Saturday. We will be looking at the Swan Goose and the Orinoco Goose. And that will take us to the end of the month. And then July is going to be a busy, busy month with really cool things coming up. We'll be looking at some of my favorite animals on July 1st. We will be doing a exhibit focus, which I have a love-hate thing for. And we are going to be jumping into mushrooms and fungi. Other notable subjects are going to be a habitat focus where we look at tallgrass prairie and pampas. We have a Zoom call opportunity. We'll be doing a Learn to Care on marine iguanas and Komodo dragons. We'll be taking a look at Cerrado savanna, as well as talking about fruits, the medical uses for venom, as well as taking a look at medicinal plants in my yard, which we may flip-flop that a little bit so we can discuss the plants during the day. will also be on the 29th of August. We will be looking at the Grand Kankakee Marsh as well as the Everglades. A lot of you, and that'll be in August, by the way, but a lot of you don't know that at one time we had a marsh larger than the Everglades in my area. So that's going to be cool. So, yep. And we have a lot of stuff planned coming up. Hope you guys are going to be excited for it. Bobby Sherman. I feel like I should know that, but he's probably before my time. Let's find out. Because I have no idea. Oh, yeah. 1960s through the 70s. He's out of my... Yeah. If he was done in 71... Oh, no. Looks like 72 through 69 through the 72. It's C. No, it's... That won't be till... Gosh. What is it? August? No. July 25th. Oh. Not fun. Well, that explains why I don't really know them. Yeah, none of those songs mean anything to me. In 72, I would have only been 2. No, wait, no. I would have been 1 in 72. So I was just like a baby. I mean, I might have heard some of the songs, but I wouldn't have been old enough to really remember. Yeah, doesn't mean anything to me, unfortunately. I am working on the story for Friday. So if I'm quiet, that's why. But you are welcome to come in and talk. I am watching the other screen. If you have suggestions for this channel or the other channels, I am open to ears as always. Is it paused? I don't remember it. For some reason, it was paused on my end. At least on the Chromebook. It's been a really slow night. That's okay. I like slow nights. What would you guys like to know? Would you like the possible videos for next week? we have 3 more videos in this group. We have animals who shape ecosystems, wild guppies. Hopefully I can find something. That is from Owen's OWZ, or Owen OWZ, which is one of my subscribers. Crowned crane. We're going to be talking about predators. No, we're not. We're not going to do that. We're going to be talking about animals that were introduced on purpose, or plants that were introduced on purpose. The black widow as a species. Screw pine as a species. The cell and its parts. Fennec foxes, another suggestion from Chelsea. We're going to talk about pigments found in nature, which we may have already done. I will check into that. And then poaching, followed by another subscriber suggestion from Carry Me Through. So that is what's coming up in the next week, week and a half, depending upon how long it takes me to get through them. But we are 40 minutes in, about 40 minutes in, and since we don't have anybody else, I'm calling this one done. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.